Good morning. This is Melinda Horton, the Executive Director of the Florida Association of Museums. I'm so sorry I can't be with you this morning or on the phone call, but I had a conflict, so I'm going to bring this discussion to you through a webinar. I really want to thank you for being a part of this project. It has been an amazing experience, and Robin is continuing to do a great job leading us forward, and I look forward to the next steps as we continue in the different webinars and educating that we're doing. The topic today is outreach and education about collections care to our elected officials. Why is it necessary? Communicating with elected officials is a key component of any advocacy endeavor. And just as it is your responsibility as a citizen to exercise your right to vote, it is just as important to communicate with officials once they take office. Museums and collecting institutions need the support of elected officials because they determine policies, programs, and funding. Regular communication. For example, elected officials at the federal, state, and local levels make decisions on funding measures and grant programs. These decisions directly impact our collecting institutions. Regular communication with elected officials will help secure policies and funding that benefit not only museums, but all types of collections institutions, and help establish a relationship with decision makers as partners in successful initiatives. And let me go a little further to say that it's not just about grants and funding, but it's about other types of items that impact what you do. It may be a local tax policy. It might be your nonprofit status. It might just be the way that you do business. But knowing your elected officials from the very bottom to the very top is key to what we do. What steps to take? Before educating an elected official, first educate yourself. You don't need to be an expert, but take the time to do some quick research about the person you will talk to. It will make a big difference. You can look at what type of committees they serve on or what their real paying job is besides being an elected official. You can also look to see, do they have a family? Have you seen them in local newspapers or articles about them being at a particular type of function? That will really help you know more about who the people are that you are talking to. Effective communication can be done in many ways, but probably the best is by email, telephone, or face-to-face meetings. Choose a communication method that best suits your unique situation. I recommend a face-to-face meeting in the home district so that they can put a face with a name, so that they can sit and look at you and discuss things with you in person. Email is another great way to get in touch with them. Or make a phone call and reach their office. That's another great way. Fax is pretty much not very popular anymore, and mail just takes too long, and many times it goes through so many different hoops, it may never get to the right person. If you know your decision maker, then you can also know how to talk to them. What is the official's background? What are the official's positions on certain issues? Get to know what specific things they're interested in. Take time to thoroughly research your issue. If you are knowledgeable on the issue, you can be a resource to the official. Reach out. Communicate the importance of collections to officials and their staff. Elected officials want and expect to hear from constituents and appreciate their efforts. Consistently invite elected officials and staff to attend your openings and your programs. If you have a an exhibit opening, or if maybe you're kicking off a new program, make sure they get an invitation. Add them to newsletters and other mailings that include what you do for the community. Make sure that they're included in e-blasts and that type of thing. It's so important, and they love to see that they're making an impact and a difference in their community. Educate them. This is just key. Act as a reliable information resource to elected officials on matters pertaining to collections. Although elected officials and their staff tend to have general knowledge on a wide variety of subjects, they rely on experts in the field to guide and educate them. You want to aim to be the go-to person when they have a question. That is so important. Once you talk to them and they really have helped you, make sure that they realize that how they can reach you again. Make sure you clearly communicate what you want them to do or what you want them to support. Use a local example. Use something that's within your own community so that they can tie it in with what their day-to-day is like, and it really will help. Recognize your elected officials when their time or their actions have benefited you or your collecting institution. Thank them in public. Thank them often. Put that in your newsletters. Make sure you do it at events. Make sure you do it whenever you can. It's so, so important. There are a few tips I can give you before we move on, and those have to do with how you do it, that you keep it simple, you ask for a little time, you never take more time than's requested, you respect the staff, you always put your name and your phone number on anything that you leave behind. You make that very, very simple. It should be bullet points. It should be one page. It should have your contact information at the bottom so that they can then ask you a question. Do it in 8 bullets or less. Get to know them. The best time to meet them is when you don't need them. That is critical. It is so important. Call and make an appointment. Just like I said earlier, keep it simple. Know your issues and give solutions. If you have a particular project or program or problem that you're working on, go ahead and know about it the best you can and give them solutions. Give them ideas of how they can help you. If the official is not available, meet with their staff. Remember, staff make decisions and carry issues forward on your behalf. When you can't reach that elected official, that staff person is the next best thing to getting to them. And if they know who you are and you can get to them, it is so very important. Today's city and county commissioners are tomorrow's legislators. Educate them about why collections matter. Today's legislators are tomorrow's Congress. The same thing goes. If you start at the school board level and then they become a city or a county commissioner or they're a councilman or woman, then they become a legislator, and then eventually they may go to Congress, or they may actually be a cabinet member. They may become our governor. If you've started way back teaching them and educating them, it's really helpful so that they know as they move forward in their job and in what they do, they know what the significance of what we do, and they also know how they can help. Why should you do this? You should do this because you can make a difference. People working together can make a difference. People can change laws. Advocacy is a democratic tradition. Advocacy helps find real solutions. It's not hard to do. I know it's scary a lot of times. Policymakers need your expertise. This will help you in your day-to-day jobs. This will help us in the future. It will keep our history and heritage moving forward for many, many, many years to come. The view of local nonprofits are important. Advocacy advances your cause and builds public interest. We will be holding regional celebrations, and we're going to need your help. We're going to need you to help us organize these regional celebrations to really tout the great work that collecting organizations do to safeguard their collections. Just the fact that you've been learning about emergency management plans and how you're going to handle collections properly and what type of storage they need to be in, all those things show what great work you're doing, and these celebrations can help us tout that wonderful news and show them what we do every day. We are planning those for January and February of 2017, and we're going to need everybody's help in making these a success. Who will we invite to these regional celebrations? We're going to invite, of course, you. We're going to invite your leadership, your board members, your senior staff, community leaders that you help us identify. We're going to invite leadership at other collecting organizations in your community, and that doesn't necessarily have to be people involved only in this program. It can be much broader than that. We're going to invite leadership of all the C2C partner organizations, such as FAMDA and FAM and FPAN and all these great Florida Library Association, all these wonderfully diverse organizations that we have partnered with to make this program possible. And of course, we are going to invite elected officials in the region. That is going to be key and is going to be a great way for us to showcase what we're doing with this program and what institutions do every day, whether it's a library, whether it's a museum, whether it's an archaeological collection, or if it's an exhibit. Whatever it is, this is a great way for us to show them the importance. Where will we hold these regional celebrations? We're going to hold them in cities all around the state where our C2C participants are. We may hold them in conjunction with another regional workshop. We do that to help accommodate and make it easier for travel. We don't want people to have to travel. We know that people have limited time. We know in particular our elected officials have limited time. So we want to make it as easy as possible to share this information and to continue to educate them. So we will be holding them all around the state, and we will need each of you to help us make those happen and make them a success. Unfortunately, I won't be able to take question and answers today, but I think Robin is going to do that for me. I know she will do a great job. If for some reason you have a question and it can't be answered, I encourage you to reach out to me at the FAM office, fam@flamuseums.org, or 850-222-6028. We will also be posting all of this information on the FAM website, so it will be easily accessible at any time. And I'm always updating our advocacy materials on the website also. If you don't get our legislative updates and you would like to get them, if you drop me an email, I'll be happy to add your name on. And I just want to encourage you to always be involved on your local level, your state level, and your national level. It will make such a big difference. And all of us joined together is a much stronger voice, and we do make a big difference. I don't think we always give ourselves as much credit as we should, but we do. We do an incredible thing every day with the work that we do. Thank you for being part of this wonderful project that was funded by IMLS. It has been a great learning experience, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the webinars, and I hope to see you all soon.